For me, equity means that having the same resources that includes everybody and where everybody has a voice.
People get revved up when they feel respected, when they feel appreciated, when they think that they can bring value to the table.
Community is not just where you live, it's people who you touch every day.
Part of the reason that I am so passionate about the women's group is because of my daughters. I want them to know that they are worth just as much as a man.
I want my daughter to see how there's no glass ceiling.
Working my way up, there was always diversity. As I became, a manager, the diversity really thinned out.
My path here was pretty challenging, but I'm proud to be here. And I want to make sure that the next person, those challenges are removed for the next person.
I think we need to keep talking about this until every single person who works at the airport feels like they are part of the airport and are treated the same.
Frustration, it's incredibly frustrating and it's emotional.
My immediate reaction was heartbreak.
It was just so difficult to watch.
I haven't even watched the video. I probably never will.
I can't imagine what he felt like.
It brought so many people to their knees in desperation.
A huge wake-up call.
It's emotionally exhausting to watch this go on day after day and to think about, we don't know when we walk out of the house if we're gonna get stopped, if we're gonna be killed.
Black people matters, Latinos matters, and they are seeing us, right?
It was really breathtaking to see some people that weren't people of color stepping forward, and especially this generation who seemed to be very evolved. It just made me smile.
There's been name-calling, other derogatory comments.
Sometimes subtle, sometimes right in your face.
People assume that we're all immigrants and that we're here to steal from the government.
People look at you, look at me, and automatically do not like me, do not think I'm smart, do not think I'm a real person.
Maybe because I'm Asian, I am female, they maybe have a stereotype. I may be very quiet.
While I'm walking the curb and, a lady pulls up in a very expensive looking vehicle, and she looks over at me and she gets out and hands me her bags.
I've been followed in stores plenty of times.
I was denied a supervisor position like 5 or 6 times. So as soon as I decided to leave that airport and go to a different one, I was immediately promoted twice.
There was a former director, and I had worked on this outreach initiative. She was looking through a proposal that I had put together and basically communicated to me, wow, this is very good, who helped you?
I'm that person that I realize that it's about them and not me.
I had rocks thrown at me walking down the street in Boston. That hurt. That really hurts.
Even at 15 years of age, with my backpack waiting for the bus, a cop just held his gun at my face for 15 minutes, and it was a very frightening thing. Yeah, I can't get through it. When I got on the bus, I just broke down. I've always remembered that incident, but you kind of repress the pain. You just kind of push through it. And that George Floyd video, which I only saw one time, it brought back the pain.
Oh, this is really hard.
Everyone needs to be in this together. It's just not one color. And that includes all people. It's not just a majority or minority. It's about just being better together.
I just feel like people have just sincerely lost their minds.
It's unfortunate that it's more violent.
Brought me back to when Vincent Chin was attacked.
It's that same feeling. It's that feeling of, I'm sure what my mom felt, trying to explain to me that because of the way you look, you could be targeted. It's those same conversations I'm now having with my 8 and 5-year-old.
When it comes to looking at the upper echelons of our leadership, I do see a limitation there. But it's so important that we're hiring the best people.
Black, minority, Hispanic, Asian, really have had some challenges in terms of equity.
In the 29 years I've been at the airport, we haven't actively diversified engineering. It's very disappointing that we haven't.
Last year, the airport created phase 1 of its first ever racial equity action plan.
Every department in the airport is going to be making changes.
We have 104 action items.
I think hiring and retention is really important.
With over 76% of our airport employees being people of color, it's time to put their needs first.
You're not just gonna box this up and package it away. But if you want to talk to me, we can have a conversation. I'm gonna listen.
You gotta speak up, you gotta speak truth.
And not brush it under the rug.
Whether it comes to, you know, racial equity, gender equity, we need to keep talking about it, even when it's uncomfortable.
You know, you feel comfortable when you work with somebody and you look past your prejudices.
It makes you think about how you can change yourself for the better.
Change is inevitable. And if you either embrace it, roll with it, be at the forefront of it, or, you know, change is gonna happen to you.
We are all here for each other.
And I think it is listening and having a channel of communication that is safe.
And not, you know, get lazy or, you know, not forget what's happened.
Don't allow this all-encompassing event to be the flavor of the week or the flavor of the month.
And it's not the time to stay silent.